The Corvathian dreadnought hung in space like a predator savoring its hunt. For 3 hours, its plasma cannons had hammered the human research station on Kepler 442b, each blast sending tremors through the reinforced titanium hull. The alien warship's commander, Admiral Vextar, watched the bombardment with cold satisfaction through his multifaceted eyes. "Their shields are down to 12%, reported his tactical officer, mandibles clicking in anticipation. Another hour of sustained fire should breach their core defenses. Vexitar's forearms gestured dismissively. "Continue the bombardment. Let them suffer. The humans must learn that their expansion into Corvathian space will not be tolerated." The research station New Horizons shuddered under another volley. In the command center, Director Sarah Chen gripped her chair as sparks showered from overloaded circuits. The station's crew of 47 scientists and engineers had taken refuge in the reinforced sections, but everyone knew it was only a matter of time. "Hull breach on Deck 7, called out Lieutenant Morrison, his voice tight with stress. "Emergency bulkheads are holding, but barely." Chen activated the emergency beacon again, knowing it was futile. They were too far from the nearest human patrol route. No rescue was coming, but she was wrong. 30 kilometers away, Sergeant Marcus Ghost Rodriguez lay prone on a rocky outcrop, his breathing steady despite the chaos raging in orbit above. The human sniper had been conducting a solo reconnaissance mission when the Corvathian ship arrived. Now, through the scope of his modified M2087 rifle, he watched the alien dreadnought methodically destroying his people. The Corvathian dreadnought was a beast, 2 kilometers of armored death bristling with weapons. Its shields could deflect asteroids, its armor could withstand nuclear blasts. It was designed to be invulnerable. But Marcus had spent 12 years studying alien ship designs, and he knew something the Corvathians had forgotten in their arrogance. Every ship had weak points. His rifle wasn't ordinary. The M2087 fired tungsten core rounds at near-light velocity, designed for precision work across vast distances. Most snipers used it for taking out enemy personnel from orbit. Marcus had other ideas. Through his scope, enhanced by his neural implants, he could see the microscopic details of the alien ship's hull. There, a barely visible maintenance hatch near the ship's fusion core housing. Standard Corvathian design placed these hatches in supposedly protected areas, but Marcus could see the tiny gap in the armor plating around it. One shot, that's all he would get. Miss, and the ship's sensors would triangulate his position. The next plasma blast would turn his rocky perch into glass. Marcus adjusted for the planet's gravity, atmospheric density, and the ship's movement pattern. His enhanced vision tracked the slight oscillation in the dreadnought's position as it fired, calculating the precise moment when the maintenance hatch would align with his trajectory. The station shook again under enemy fire. People were dying while he calculated angles. On the Corvathian dreadnought, Admiral Vextar was growing impatient. "Increase firing rate. I want that station reduced to debris within the hour." "Sir," the tactical officer hesitated. "We're detecting a minor energy signature on the planet's surface. Possibly a what? A human hiding in the rocks?" Vextar's laugh was like grinding metal. "Let them watch their people die. It will serve as a lesson to their species." 30 kilometers below, Marcus exhaled slowly and squeezed the trigger. The tungsten round crossed the distance in 0.03 seconds, invisible to the naked eye. It struck the maintenance hatch with surgical precision, the near-light velocity impact creating a chain reaction that ripped through the weakened armor plating like paper. The tiny hole, barely 3 centimeters wide, penetrated straight through to the ship's fusion containment chamber. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the Corvathian dreadnought simply stopped. The plasma bombardment ceased. The massive ship hung motionless in space, its lights flickering. "What?" Admiral Vexitar began, then alarm started blaring throughout the bridge. "Fusion containment breach," screamed the engineer. "Core instability cascading through all primary systems." "Impossible. We're under no attack." But Marcus's bullet had done more than punch a hole. The tungsten round had been specially designed with a delayed fragmentation charge. Inside the fusion chamber, microscopic shards were now tearing through the magnetic containment field generators. "Sir, we have maybe minutes before complete core failure," the engineer reported, his voice cracking with fear. Vextar stared at the human station, still intact, still defiant. "How? Their weapons couldn't possibly—" The lights went out. Emergency power kicked in, bathing the bridge in red light. "All hands abandon ship. Vextar finally ordered, his pride crushed by the impossibility of what had happened. As Corvathian escape pods streaked away from their dying dreadnought, Director Chen watched in amazement from the research station's command center. "What the hell just happened?" Morrison whispered. Chen activated the long-range scanners, sweeping the planet's surface until she found him. A lone human figure 30 kilometers away, calmly packing up a sniper rifle. She opened a comm channel. "Unknown friendly, this is New Horizon Command. Please identify yourself." Marcus's voice came back steady and calm. "Sergeant Marcus Rodriguez, 3rd Reconnaissance Battalion. Ma'am, you might want to clear the area. That ship's going to make quite a bang when she goes." As if summoned by his words, the Corvathian dreadnought erupted in a brief, brilliant star. The massive vessel that had bombarded them for hours was reduced to expanding plasma and debris in seconds. Later, as Marcus was extracted by the rescue ships that finally arrived, Admiral Vextar sat in his escape pod, staring at the debris field that had been his mighty dreadnought. His intelligence officers would later analyze the attack, trying to understand how a single human with a primitive kinetic weapon had accomplished what their strategists claimed was impossible. They would learn, as others had before them, that humans didn't just fight with overwhelming force or superior technology. Sometimes they won with patience, precision, and the willingness to take a shot that no one else would even attempt. The war would continue, but the Battle of Kepler 442b became legend among both species. Proof that in the vast darkness of space, sometimes all it took was one human who refused to give up. Marcus never spoke much about that day, but his fellow soldiers knew the truth. When humanity's back was against the wall, they didn't need an army. They just needed Ghost.